All right, so let me summarize here because I've got a really important question for you.
Yeah.
You got driver scheduling, you have accountability, you're slowing down phone calls dramatically. You're really changing the whole cultural component of the dispatcher and driver chauffeur communication.
Right.
And you have chauffeur training.
Right.
And continuing education.
It allows your employees to go on and fill out their availability. Everybody keeps track of this differently, some with spreadsheets and some with things like that. But they can fill out their availability and then the dispatcher will just go off of the availability. So it's all about finding the perfect balance between your car resource, your job resource, and your driver resource. You can always buy another car, you can't just buy a driver.
Right.
And so that's what it really does.
So the driver submits weekly availability or every 2 weeks?
Well, everything I tell you is changeable. So we collect 2 weeks at a time.
Okay.
And then we have a lockout period, which for us is 48 hours. You can be anything. And what that is, are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. So the lockout period for us is 48 hours.
Right.
And that means that anything outside of 48 hours, they can go in and make the change themselves. Right. So I just did a demo before I came down here, and in the last 90 days, 312 non-lockout changes were made to the system. I just saved my company 312 phone calls of somebody calling in saying, hey, next Wednesday, I know I said I was on the schedule for the whole day, but I need the morning off or
a
something
doctor's
like that.
appointment.
Right.
Take my kid to dance recital, whatever it is.
There were 20 lockout changes. So within 48 hours, only 20 people shifted their availability.
Right.
That keeps a very accurate measure of what I've got. Then I got tired of losing unemployment cases.
Right.
And the only way to win in this business, if they don't steal from you or commit a felony, is refusal of suitable work.
Right.
And how do you do that? Well, you'd have to take notes every time someone refuses. I said, no. We're gonna make this nice and easy. So I have your availability, and Bill says available, and I call you up, and you say, oh no, that's right. Now I've given you all the tools to make that change, but you didn't. You wasted my time to call you. With a few simple clicks, Bill refused, 6 hours, so I know the value of that job, what it was, hit refused. They hate to get refused.
Right.
It X's out their availability, it changes their numbers. They don't want to get tagged as refusal.
And by numbers, do you tie that into a rating system at all?
No, but what happened, they just know. They just know that, so there is a little thing on the back end that it puts an asterisk before your name on the day before you refuse, the day after you refuse, the day of refusal.
Okay.
So let's face it, dispatcher gets a really good job and they see an asterisk next to your name, they may not call you because you refused something within the last 24 hours.
Absolutely.
And you know, I've got companies, I don't want to mention names, I guess, but I've got big companies, 250 employees using this thing. It's global. It's really easy. That's just one thing that Driver Schedule does. It also has a complete training module, 1,000 test questions that I give you.
For like chauffeur training?
Chauffeur training.
Wow.
Now this is cutting edge because, you know, back when you were in the business, it was a video.
Tom has the videos.
Yeah, and we all bought the video, and I don't know if you use, I didn't use them. You know, I bought them, and
I did use them. That was not like the only resource I could find at the time.
But do you sit a guy down in your conference room and let him watch a 2-hour video? Do you pay him when he does that? Do you send him home with them? Do you know that he watched them? They get outdated very quickly. What happens when a law changes? So again, the natural thing was to put that online.
Right.
So now it's online. I give you 1,000 questions. You can pick which questions to use.
Right.
You can use the question but change the answer. You can change the answer and use the question. You can put in a custom question that no one else sees specific for your market. Say you pick up the crew at your airport and there's a different procedure for that. You can enter a question for that.
Wow.
So at my company, we have every other month, they need to retrain. The computer randomly selects 60 questions. They have to get 80% right. If they fail the test twice, they get locked out from submitting their availability. So we have to, you know, go up and do that.
I love this.
Now that's on the, half of those questions are etiquette questions, hold the door, that kind of thing. And then half of them I went out and researched questions that you would have to pass to get your driver's license in all 50 states.
Right.
So
all 50 states.
Right. So and they have diagrams.
Right.
So the other half of the question, so every 3 months, my guys, it's time to take another test. And every 3 months, randomly 60 questions that are In this scenario, who has the right of way? What do you do at a double yellow line? When the curb is painted blue, what does it mean? Things like that. So then I said, well, I want the schedule for the office staff. You can post your office staff schedule on that. You can post breaks. Then my office staff was punching a punch card.
Right.
They punch over each other. My accounting department is trying to translate the over punches, 7-minute rounding, deducting for breaks. I said, there's got to be a better way. We built a virtual time clock. So now they punch in and out on the computer, all my hourly people. It automatically deducts for breaks. And at the end of payroll, you just hit a button and it has a report.
That sounds critical, not only for your inter-office staff, but even think about California, if you operated in California. So I'm going to kind of scooch over here a little bit because I'm used analogy for punch, and I'm waiting for a punch for the gut right now.
Why?
How much does this cost?
It's about $2.50 a month per employee.
$2.50 a month per employee?
Right. And it does a lot more than that. And I chose, I did a lot of research on this, and I chose not to make it modules.
Right.
Because I didn't want someone to feel like, well, I don't even use that part of it.
Right.
And we keep building on, and it's the same price. It's just
that's cheaper than anything I sell. That's
so
for sure.
I will mention a couple companies because I don't think they'll get mad. One of our latest people that onboarded was Tom Holden's here from Rose Chauffeur. So I talked to Tom, and the shtick that I have when I talk about it, I go, it'll change your life, guaranteed. Strong statement, right?
Right.
So I was over by the pool talking with actually Abby from Signature.
Yeah, down in New Orleans.
Right. Talking to her, and I was telling her all about it, and Tom walks by. I go, Tom, tell Abby about driver schedule. I go, did it change your life? He's like, absolutely. And he goes on, and I got to videotape this because he goes on and on with how much it has changed. And what I love about this stuff is that I built it to help me. I knew that it would help other operators. And then everyone doesn't run their business the same. So I get little ideas. So I'm going to give Rose Chauffeur some good props now because Tom came to me and he goes, love the product, everything's great, but we run motor coaches and we have some IOs and we have regular chauffeurs. He goes, that lockout period thing, I love it, but I need a 2-week lockout for motor coach guys because I don't want them changing their schedule.
And he only needs a 48-hour for the on-demand component.
48 for on-demand. And then if I have an IO that all of a sudden wants to say, hey, I got nothing going on, I can make myself available. So for him, we built in multiple lockouts.
Nice.
And when I say for him, everybody can use it. So now you can have different classes of chauffeurs. Carrie London, they have people who are assigned to vehicle types.
Right.
They wanted to create an inventory of shifts that only people who drive that vehicle type can see, and then it's first come, first serve. Right. It works for them for doing that. It tracks PTO, paid time off, vacation, and personal. It has an emailer that you can blast emails out. You can save templates of emails that you send on a regular basis. You can post documents that they can review. We just added that one for like your policy manual instead of printing it up or whatever. It's online. And then the other one I'll tell you about is vehicle issues. So we used to have a red slip. If you had a problem, you wrote up a red slip, passed it in. Well, now, if you've gone to places where they have like a whiteboard in dispatch, number 36 is down with an air conditioning problem. Well, now it knows who the driver is. It's totally responsive, totally mobile friendly. Driver is logged in. He says, in this car, air conditioning problem, submit. Instantly, email goes out to whoever you want. In my case, me, my general manager, the fleet manager, and dispatch. And then it shows up on an electronic dashboard. And now they manage the maintenance right from there. And it's pretty cool.
All for $2.50 per user.
Right.
All right, so James, make a note because I might get this for us, even though we're not a limousine company, just to keep track of your guys' hours. And how important is that hourly tracking, especially with what's coming up? Many of our viewers probably don't even know what's happening on December 1st yet.
Right.
With the salaried employees and the overtime that's going to be affecting all of us. Hopefully something changes because it's going to dramatically impact small business.
It will. I mean, I think that for this, a lot of people just don't know about it. So I appreciate you taking the time to kind of blast it out there. The people that use it love it. I've never had anyone quit from it.
Right.
I have had people they don't get into it all the way, and we offer support. Call us up, we'll walk you through it. I mean, you could set that up in 4 hours.
Right, so I mean, I use a program for all of my time tracking and time optimization as well called Harvest.
Okay.
And it costs me about $12 a month per FTE or per employee, and it doesn't do a third of what you've just discussed. I think that, and I didn't know anything about this until we sat
Right,
down.
right.
I thought you were going to tell me that it was free or $2 million. I had no clue.
Right.
But that $2.50 price point is extremely affordable. And I love the fact that you have the 1,000 questions and the continuing education.
Right.
Because that's the number one thing for me over the last year, is the chauffeur recruiting component. Number
Right.
two is chauffeur training.
That's right.
And I had no idea that this existed for them, because I think the Smith system, Tom Maz, is outdated. I do think, because I'm fair and unbiased to everybody, I think Bruce has put together a pretty good program with PAX. It's definitely more expensive, but this, I think, is a really affordable option that packs a huge punch with all of
This
those
is living and
capabilities.
breathing, where it's changeable, it's
Yeah.
customizable, and it kind of gives you the tools to do what you want, but doesn't restrict you to those tools, and that's the big difference.
Absolute no-brainer.
So.
Awesome. How do they find out more about it?
Driverschedule.com, and I've put on some tutorial videos, and you can go through, and they're like 6 or 8 minutes about what it does, and those were done probably about 6 months ago. So
Right.
so it's not everything it does, but we give you a first month free.
Right.
So you log on and you start poking around. If you need help, you send us a support email.
Awesome.
We'll hook up a join me session. We walk you through it, and what's great is that I never hear from my customers.
Right.
Like literally, we set them up, and once they're set up, they never call back.
That's awesome.
Just remote.
So driverscheduler.com.
Schedule.
Driverschedule.com. We'll link it up in the post right above the video. Check it out. Get your free month. I think it's an absolute no-brainer. Awesome. Thank you, Michael.
Change your life.
Exactly. Change your life, guaranteed.
It's
I want to know what the guarantee is. It's guaranteed. Money back guarantee.
Money back. It'll change your life. It's fine.
Why would you not test it out? We'll see you guys on the next episode of the Ask Limo U show.
Michael Lindsey with Lindsey Limousine, Hartford, Connecticut. Just shot a couple of great segments with Bill Faeth, the Ask Limo U show. Welcome. All right. So Bill left, and so I have absconded his videographer, and I'm sitting here, and I want to let you know something. Now we have an agreement. We're going to upload this, and Bill is not going to see it until it's been uploaded. So I've known Bill a long, long time, and I just want to let you know that I've never used him. Right? I've gone to his seminars. Never used him. But let me tell you what I do know about Bill, and I do know him pretty well, is that I'm so proud of what he's done for the industry with this Ask Limo U thing, because it was something that was really needed. And I've been in the business 27 years, gone to a lot of seminars, and we all go to these things, and there's some takeaway value, some not takeaway value. When you listen to Bill, he knows what he's talking about. And one of the big reasons is he used to be one of us, right? He used to be an operator, so he knows. And so I just wanted to get this in here, get it up. The Ask Limo U, great product, great concept, and something the industry has needed for a long time. So I think Bill's coming. You just upload this up and don't tell him a thing.